My guest expert this week is Floridian farmer Fred Allen. How are you, Fred?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Good to have you on here.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about the Peace of Heart Enrichment program that you work at there in Florida.
Okay. So the enrichment program kind of sprang from Peace of Heart Community, the organization itself, which is a nonprofit community to enrich the lives of individuals living with autism as well as their families. So there's the group home on property, and then the enrichment program is basically the day program where individuals from our community living with autism can come and work in our organic farm and in our organic garden. And we teach them certain skills, new skills that maybe they didn't have before. We get them outside in nature. We think that's very important because when you live with autism, especially if you're a young adult, at a certain point you age out of school and you're kind of pushed off the cliff, and the individuals and their families are isolated and they're on their own. It can be a very lonely experience or life to live. So we want to get all these individuals outside in nature, working in our garden, using their hands, using their bodies. We want to encourage them. We want to show them that we value them, that we love them, that they are not second-class citizens, that they can have a first-rate life. Sometimes they felt like outcasts. Like if you notice in schools where the autism classrooms are, they're always in the back in a portable somewhere. So they're kind of shoved to the side, and we don't think that's right. So we want to bring them into the light, into this beautiful property that we have, and we want to give them skills that they've never used before. Like we've taught many of our individuals how to use lawn equipment or how to use certain types of tools like a drill. We get them doing gross motor and fine motor coordination activities and exercises. And these are all things that they haven't necessarily had their entire lives. And we know that is a huge benefit to them. And there's also the social aspect of it. You know, a lot of times with autism, people are very isolated. They're in their homes staring at screens all day. And we want them to come out and make friends and socialize, learn to interact with one another. Most of the individuals in our program are nonverbal, and part of the way they communicate is through sign language or through something that's called facilitated typing. They type on an iPad with someone who's giving resistance and a certain key point on their body, usually at their wrist, their elbow, or their shoulder. And these are the ways they can communicate with us. And I tell you, man, listening to or reading some of the things that they type, it's amazing, saying how incredible the farm is for their body, for their mind, that we treat them like men, that we treat them like human beings, you know, the way that anyone should be treated. They just want to be treated like everybody else. They do not want to live with autism, but they do a great job of living with it and dealing with it, managing it. So that's what the enrichment program is all about, just giving individuals with autism a chance to come and be a part of life, be treated like a human being, have a great life experience out on our farm. They do things like we have this huge acre of organic garden set aside, and these individuals maintain it. They transplant the produce, the vegetables, the plants into the ground or into our garden beds. They harvest it, they wash it, clean it, and they bundle it, and we sell it at our farmers market. So we have a large organic garden that is maintained by individuals with autism. We also have farm animals, and they take care of them. We collect our eggs from the chickens we have. They feed the chickens, they feed the pigs, the horses, and the goats. So they're learning responsibility. They're learning to complete tasks. They're just learning a lot of things out there, as well as just not feeling non-judged, you know, going to a place where they're loved and they're encouraged. They've been told no a lot in their life, and we're here to tell them, yes, you can do it.
I feel like you're right. There aren't enough programs like this where I've personally seen individuals with autism that were in high school or something, and then the expectation is, do they go off onto college on their own? Are they, is that like the right step for them, right? But there seems to be no intermediary for adults with autism to kind of get into the world and into the workforce and find something that they really enjoy. So I kind of want to segue. I wonder, how did you find yourself working there? How did you get involved?
Yeah, so I went to school for occupational therapy. I went to become an occupational therapy assistant, and my class decided to sponsor an organization. Each OTA class has to sponsor an organization, and we chose Peace of Heart before it was up and running. Howard and Amy had bought the property in 2015, and I think it was the first semester, the beginning of the year in 2017, our class started sponsoring Peace of Heart. So we would go out there and we would help in the garden. We would weed eat. The home was just being built, like nothing was open yet, but we would help fundraise. So after I graduated, I was looking for a place to work. And there were some places through internships that I realized just weren't for me. I didn't want to work in a hospital setting. I didn't want to work in a skilled nursing facility. A friend of mine who was in my occupational therapy assistant class got a job there, and I asked him if he could put in a good word for me. So they hired me. I ended up working in the house as a direct care staff employee. And then this past August, Howard asked me if I would like to transition out to the garden and help him start the enrichment program. And I tell you, it's probably the best decision, one of the best decisions of my life, because I love it. Every day I feel very blessed that my job, my office is a big organic garden, being outside, changing people's lives, getting to work with these individuals who teach me so much. It's really a blessing for me, and that's the story of how I got involved.
Yeah, I first found you guys on Instagram, and I gotta say, it's like the most wholesome content to watch. Like,
Yeah.
it just looks like all of you guys are having a blast out there. Like everybody's learning, everybody looks like they're having fun. Like I wouldn't expect so many of them to be openly excited to talk on camera, even or even just smile on camera, anything, waving,
Yeah.
things like that. It's really awesome to see. So, what would you say the reaction has been online?
It's incredible. When we first started the social media, especially the Instagram, we weren't sure like what we were doing or what we were trying to set out to do. But then as it got shared more and more and more and more people found out about us, the reaction, the reception has been absolutely incredible. People have been like, I love sitting down and watching your stories every day. Your stories bring so much positivity in a world where everything is so negative right now. And so really going from the beginning this summer, I think we posted our first story on Instagram back in September last year. And the response that we generated lately, just the individuals in this program have really inspired a lot of people and really bring a lot of joy into people's lives. People will say like, me and my son or daughter sit down and watch your stories every night, or I'm a mom, I'm a parent of my son has autism, and to see these videos just gives me so much hope for the future. So we feel like we're doing something unique and special right now, and putting the stories on Instagram. At first I was like, gosh, I hope I'm not exploiting this, but then I quickly got away from that, because like, no, I'm not exploiting this at all. We're raising awareness. We're showing what these individuals can do. We're broadening their horizons, and we're trying to change the face of autism in a positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're doing very well for so
Thank
far.
you.
Yeah. So what has working there, it sounds like you've been there for a few years now. So what has working there taught you about autism, or has it changed your perspective on it or anything like that?
Yeah, well, the thing with autism is there's a lot of treatment for younger individuals, children, preteen. There's a lot of treatment for that. Once they get into being early adulthood, that's when things change. That's, I don't know. It's very personal to me right now. I'm so close to it. Watching these young adults and knowing what they're capable of, knowing like what's inside, and they're just not able to release it. I've learned so much, that especially through what they type. They type the most poetic, beautiful things. Just never judge a book by its cover is one thing. I've always learned, just be as compassionate and as kind as you can. I mean, these guys are fighting a battle that we know nothing about. We don't know what it's like to live in their shoes daily. Kind of have an idea because they let us know. But I've always considered myself a fairly patient person. But man, after, working with these wonderful individuals, I just lay down my life for them. They do such an amazing job. I'm inspired and in awe of them daily. Just things to us that seem so simple for them are not so simple. And it's not, for a better word, a lack of smarts or understanding. It's just a neuromotor disconnect. Their brain is telling them something and their body is just unable to carry it out. But man, they work through it. They try so hard. Sometimes it gets frustrating, which is understandable. Imagine going your whole life and not being able to talk to someone or communicate to them. I'm just not able to do this. I mean, how do you think that would make you feel? And but they go through it every day, and they strive, and they work so hard every day. So it makes me sit back and think, really, what do I have that's so hard? Or what in my life do I really have to complain about? They help me keep things into perspective, and their persistence, their perseverance is very inspiring to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well put. So you mentioned the farmers market. You
Yeah.
you do a farmers market every weekend, right?
Yeah. Every Saturday down here where we are, we're in a town called Ponte Vedra, which is right outside Jacksonville, Florida. But on our property, every Saturday from 9 to 12, we do a farmers market, which features produce grown from our own garden. And that goes from October 1st to June 1st. We take the summers off just because in Florida it's way too hot. It's almost that time where all Floridians know that the humidity is going to strike up, and it's going to be rough. But yeah, our farmers market goes from October to June, and all the stuff from our garden that we grow, we feature at the market, and it's a really cool thing. I mean, something special that all these things that we're selling were grown by individuals with autism or living with autism. And every now and then we'll have food truck, we'll have live music out. We get a good amount of visitors, families who like to come out and see the animals, who like to walk through the garden, who just want to come and relax when it's cool, sit by the fire pit. It's a fun day for the family, for anyone who wants to learn about gardening. Also, we do a lot of volunteer work on farmers market days. We've had big corporations like Wells Fargo come out, the local Rotaract clubs come out and volunteer their time. We have high school and college students come out and volunteer, because there's always something to do on a property this size, a garden that size, and a farm. There's always work to be done, and it's great when we have big projects to have that kind of help. So it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have a garden of my own in the backyard, and I have a pretty decent sized garden. But for anyone that doesn't garden at all or anything, it's pretty impressive to know that you're selling really good produce every single week. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's
Yeah.
a nice piece of land you got there.
Yeah, and I mean, the soil is all organic. We make our own dirt from the chicken coop. We take the dirt because it's been pooped on by chickens, which is high in nitrogen, which is good to maintain a healthy pH of the soil. And that's what goes on our garden beds, on our raised beds. So all the soil is organic. That's why we're able to grow such awesome, vibrant, colored produce. That's why things grow so well. We don't have any bugs, because bugs stay away from healthy plants. That's why we don't have any bugs, because all our plants are healthy because we have healthy soil.
I feel like I have shots fired because I'm always fighting off aphids and all sorts of critters. So I
Yeah.
guess I don't have as healthy plants as you do. But I also don't
Well,
have
you hit
chickens
us
to
up.
poop.
We'll tell you how to keep those plants healthy. Keep your soil healthy, and that's number
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I'm always having a battle with the pH. I had to order one of those testers. So
Hmm.
if anyone looks at your Instagram, it becomes clear pretty quickly that you have an official or unofficial spokesperson of the program there, right? Josh.
Yeah.
So tell me
Yeah.
how that came to be. Did he just naturally have the charisma in front of the camera to get the limelight, or what? Unfortunately, the Weekly Pleb doesn't have any advertisers yet, due to the fact that none of you subscribe. So, before Fred tells us about Josh, I'm going to give out this ad slot for Josh to tell us about a day on the farm, how they make their soil, how to dance properly, and he's got a special announcement just for you.
Yeah,
My man, how's it going?
good.
How was your day?
It was great. A lot. We had a lot of people out here today
Sure did.
because we've got our sugar cane food truck.
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of volunteers. So tell me about it.
There were a whole bunch of volunteers here today. There were a lot of new volunteers that came out.
There used to be a mound of mulch right there, and now it's all gone.
The volunteers did all that. They put all that mulch into those wheelbarrows right there, and then they
spread it out right
spread
here.
it all around out here, which eventually. All this mulch here is eventually going to break down. It will break down into dirt, and eventually, when it breaks down into dirt, that we'll use that dirt for the mixer,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll reuse it for our garden bed, so we can do transplanting.
Yep.
And harvest.
All of that, man. Good explanation. Way
Yep,
to tell the people.
Yep. I just want to tell everybody on Instagram we do a whole bunch of fun activities out here, and also everybody on Instagram this summer, y'all should come out. We'll have some volunteers coming out on the summertime, and we'll have field trips planned. We'll probably go to the beach and do a lot of fun stuff. So if everybody wants to come and join us, come out and join us. And go to the beach, and we have another surf thing going on May 8th at Crescent Beach.
Hopefully we can make it down there. Yeah. There you go. Hopefully that keeps the rain away. Let's see those feet moving. Yeah, dude. Josh is a very special, just created so beautifully that, I first met Josh at a thing called Special Nation. It's a special needs portion of the church down here that Peace of Heart, the residents go to. And on Wednesday nights, we go out to the church, and that's where I first met Josh. Josh loves to socialize. He loves people. He loves being around people. He can be very loquacious, and he's just a joy to be around. But Josh was texting people like me, Howard, Tracy, that during the day he just didn't have anything to do. He's just sitting in his apartment with his grandma, and he's bored. He just didn't have a lot to do. And he was certainly an inspiration to help get the enrichment program going. And good for Josh that he's verbal, so he can convey express his emotions, his feelings. And if you ever watched him, so many people have fallen in love with his gentle spirit, his laughter. The things that bring him joy are so simple, and he's truly just a mesmerizing character and easy to fall in love with. He actually is on our payroll. We got him as an employee for Peace of Heart. He is the official spokesman and farm tour guide.
So it is official then.
Yeah, he's on the clock 4 days a week.
That's awesome. Yeah, he always seems to love it. I've never seen a single video where he's not having a good time.
Well, yeah, just imagine it. He's living his best life. Every day he's like, Fred, can I use the lawnmower? Fred, can I use the drill? Fred, can I do this? Fred, can I do that? I'm like, yeah, buddy, definitely. This is your life, man. We're trying to make your life best possible. So we've taught him all kinds of new skills that he loves, and he loves to tell people. He's like, I took the riding mower out today, or I weed whacked today. He's just so proud of himself. And why shouldn't he be? I mean, we're proud of them too.
Absolutely. And I know that from what I've seen, the comment section online is proud of them too.
Oh yeah, they love them. I mean, people were coming from like Colorado and bringing in presents and T-shirts, and you just bring so much joy to people's lives, and you give so much hope to people or families who have children with autism. Like, my son can actually do this one day, and we're like, yeah, he definitely can. You put someone in the right environment, you love them, you give them encouragement, there's no ceiling on what they can accomplish.
Yeah, anyone who says that you're not a product of your environment in some pieces, then it's just absurd.
Yeah.
You need the support, I think. So is there anything else? Is there anything else you wanted to tell the people about the program?
We're trying to grow. We're trying to get some donations. So if you would like to donate, you can donate on our Instagram page, which is POH Enrichment. And also you could go to our website, pohc.org, and donate there as well. Also read about our Building Stories fundraising campaign. We'd like to build a standalone pavilion where we can host events, where we can expand our program. We'd like to build a commercial kitchen there so we could expand our program to like a culinary section, an arts and crafts, exercise, music. So these are all things, lofty goals we have for the future, but we will achieve them. But if you'd like to help us achieve them, please support us through donations or spreading the word about us on Instagram would be great.
Awesome. Well, Fred, it was awesome talking to you. Thank you for coming on.
Douglas, man, thank you so much for having me. This has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Of course, I'm a big fan. I hope you guys keep doing great things.
We will, man. We will.
I want you to have all those programs that you just listed. And
more. Man, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It would. It sounds
One
great.
day we will. We will.
Not only is it Autism Awareness Month, but today is this lovely lady's birthday. So make sure you go to @POH Enrichment on Instagram and say happy birthday to Gentry.
We were all walking everywhere. So you'd get dirty shoes and sweaty shirts and dusty everything. People get lost in trying to, what skin color does he have? Or where would he have lived? Or like, what did he mean when he said this? Or why did this happen in the Old Testament? Or why did a bunch of people die? And why is the world such a terrible place? And I think it's just, to the root of it is, it's love.